This is Great Campaigns of the American Civil War, Playing Thunder on the Mississippi. This is the full campaign, the advance game, and this is the situation at the end of turn 12. Now, I haven't actually done the recovery phase or the end phase of this particular turn, because I just want to show the strategic position as it is now. We didn't do a video on the last turn because it was fairly quiet. Now we have got Union have a problem with their supply due to the strategic phase immediately occurring on a rain phase. It meant that the wagon trains, which probably would have been in place, weren't in place, and these units have been stranded without supply. They'll be able to forage, so they've actually done nothing this turn, these 4 units marked with unsupply, in the hope that we can forage and get them back into action. Now I don't know what would happen if they couldn't restore supply before turn 15, they could lose strength points, but they may be able to just pull them off the wagon trains anyway that are around. So I'm not sure what order that happens in. But anyway, we'll try and restore the supply to these guys as soon as possible. The rest of the Union Army is sidling across the board, trying to outflank Vicksburg from the east, as they did historically. The Confederates are also sort of maintaining garrisons along the Big Black River and moving forces into strategic points along that river, trying to keep the Union on the eastern bank of the Big Black, because you don't want them getting across anywhere, because then Vicksburg is going to almost certainly end up being besieged as a result of that. It's a difficult one for the Confederates. They haven't got huge amounts of forces, and their forces are getting dispersed. So they have a field army here, but it's not particularly strong. It's strong enough to hold off a Union corps, but it certainly couldn't hold off a Union army. The cavalry screens are just basically sort of keeping an eye out on strategic crossings and things. They're not there to fight in reality. They're there to hold positions and then do cavalry retreats. It really is a waste of time trying to pin down and fight cavalry forces. Only other cavalry forces are fast enough really to do that, and you're talking at, when you've got a strength of 1, your chances of inflicting any serious injury on another cavalry unit are pretty low. The current situation is a Union water crisis. Now, that meant that anyone who had a unit that wasn't next to a water source, like a creek, a river, big major river or a minor river, became disorganised. That's Union infantry, that is. Actually, I think that's any Union force. Anyway, the odd thing about it is there's a lot of water around here. It's very difficult for units to be actually non-adjacent to a water source. But a few units did get caught by it. They weren't expecting it. Apart from that, it's not a great deal happening. Confederates have moved some units out of the forts here just to provide a little mobile force to protect this really strategic bridges here. I might try and take one of those bridges out, to be honest. There's no point having the pair of them there. We want to keep the railroad bridge open if we can. Other Confederate forces that are occupying landings down the river in Warren County have been able to start the entrenchment process. It just means that you'll have a series of little forts that can't be picked off by Union River river and amphibious invasions and river transport operations. But yet again, that spreads the Confederate forces out. So overall, I don't think the Union are making spectacular progress here, but you've got 70 turns to win this. But I've been told that this isn't actually a game where the Union can afford to lose a lot of time, because we could have really marched our forces significantly, and lost units through strength points with forced marches and things like that. But I don't think that's the right time to do that now, unless we can see some massive strategic objective that we could take through a forced march or something. And that's it. Situation at the end of turn 12 of 70.